Today I received a box. It's a box I've been waiting on for probably about 6 weeks now. Everyone's running a little bit behind, so that's kind of the reality that we all have to live with at least for a little bit longer. This is a box that I've ordered from SuperShox, if you can't tell. And these are the rear shocks for my 2016 Harley-Davidson Ultra Limited. On this 2016, I've had it about brand new, so I'm going on 6 years now. I ran the first 2 or 3 years on the stock air suspension on the back. Finally had enough of that, and then I bought a pair of Pro Action shocks for the rear. I've run those for going on 3 years now. And then I've decided to switch over to the SuperShox. Now this is not going to be the only upgrade to the suspension that I'm doing this year. I've also got some progressive monotube shocks for the front, and then I also put a frame stabilizer on the bike as well. So the 3 in tandem will be the change that I make this spring, and we'll see going forward how that works. But let's have a look today with the SuperShox, and we'll see what all you get in the box and what they look like, and at some point in time I'll get them put on and we will see how they ride. First of all, SuperShox, the price is not bad. Real good people to work with, very easy going on the phone, very willing to answer your questions and explain anything. They have several videos out kind of explaining their shocks and what they're doing there. But for today, here's the box as you get it in the mail. And if we go to open her up, here's what we'll get inside. We get basically a little card that you can use to write down your setup. One of the draws for these shocks, and shocks I mean are going to be like, seats or anything else. There's a lot of people out there that make a good shock for this bike, and it's just going to be a matter of personal preference. One of the draws to me was that I ride my bike in a couple of different configurations. I have a tour pack, so I can ride 2 up with the tour pack. I can ride 2 up with the tour pack kind of loaded down, like if I was traveling. I ride solo with the tour pack, and then I can remove the tour pack and ride solo without the tour pack. So with these shocks, one of the draws was the ease of adjustability to allow me to jump between the different settings depending on how I was loaded down. But going back to what's in the box, so you got a card. You can write down your setting for solo and your setting for 2 up. Sticker. I'll throw that on my sticker pile with all my other stickers. Let's see what else we get here. Warranty registration card. And you will get a setup sheet basically telling you how you're weighted down, roughly where you want to start with your settings. So based on the weight that you anticipate, here's where you're going to start with your setting. Then just a rough tuning guide. Feel small bumps, lower it by 0.5, so on and so forth. I think one of the big things that people do that they do wrong when they adjust their shocks is they tend to over adjust, or they just kind of go too far. I think small changes make a big difference when you're messing around with these things. So the shocks that I got are a 14-inch shock for length, but they come with this relocation mount kit, which I'll show you, which drops it down to make it act more like a 13-inch shock for ride heights. So you get that full extra inch of travel without having to deal with the extra inch of ride height. So there's your tuning guide. There's some instructions for installation. I anticipate that to be very not a difficult thing to do. I put the Pro Actions on myself. That wasn't that hard to do. Relocation mount kit, pretty decent pictures. Pretty straightforward. And then again, if there's any issues that you run into, these guys do answer the phone. They're more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. So on the top part here, we'll have a couple bolts. And then you'll have two of these relocation brackets. This is one solid piece, machined aluminum. Then with that stuck in there. Pretty nice piece. It's got a nice solid feel to it. So you have two of those. And then the shocks themselves. There's your shock. They will ask you some questions when you place your order. You know, what's your weight? How often do you ride with the passenger? And here's your settings for your initial setup and then for your adjustment. When you do adjust these, no tools required. Maybe you could just spin this by hand. You're raising over your settings. There we go. So like a lot of your high-end shocks, this will give you a little bit of flexibility in how the shock moves once it's mounted. That's the bottom of the shock. Here's the top of the shock. Made in America, over in Illinois. SuperShox. Yeah, so again, pretty nice shock, pretty well built piece. They have a video where they show you how they build them. Starting from just a piece of billet. And then here's the setting, which again was a draw for me because, you know, if I'm riding solo with the tour pack, I can put this on a setting that if the wife wants to get on, I can easily adjust consistently to the next setting. Or if I take the tour pack off, it makes it real easy to go back and forth between your settings and consistently hit the same setting every time. So I've heard good things about the shock. We will get the shock installed at some point. And we'll take it out and we'll see how they ride.